All right. Hey, good morning, guys. We're just going to go ahead and get started. I know it's exactly 11 o'clock, and typically I like to wait a couple more minutes, but it seems like most of the group is on the line today already, which is good. So I really appreciate you joining me today. We're going to talk about the BeeSafe Lawns organic lawn care opportunity and a new program we're launching this year that revolves around sales and marketing. So actually, as I speak, the seats are filling up quickly, so maybe I should have waited a couple more minutes, but I didn't, so let's rock and roll. I hope you're all doing well. If you have any questions during the course of the webinar today, go ahead and type them in the control panel there on the screen of the GoToMeeting control panel on there. I may or may not answer them as we go. Actually, a bunch of you guys are already typing stuff in, which is okay. So I may or may not answer questions as we move along. If I don't answer your question, it means I'm likely going to cover what you're asking about over the course of the webinar. But don't let that hold you back. If you want to ask a couple of questions, please do. A lot of times it spurs a decent discussion too. So go ahead. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Nobody's complaining, and that's a good thing. So we'll go ahead and get started. My name's Tom Kelly. I'm the founder of BeeSafe Lawns. We've been working in the BeeSafe, building the BeeSafe brand for 5 years now, and we're really super busy and doing really well. And so I'm glad that as many of you turned out today for the webinar to see if it's something that you should consider getting involved with. And I hope you think so, because we've got some really good things going on in 2015, and we're really excited about it. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. Who's BeeSafe Lawns? Before I actually get going, typically when we do these recruitment type webinars, I try to keep them between 25 to 30 minutes. This is the first time I've ever done this one specifically, so I'm guessing it may go a little bit longer than that, but we'll try to keep it to a moderate pace here, and hopefully you can stick around for the whole thing. So BeeSafe Lawns, we always start here. BeeSafe Lawns was featured in Entrepreneur Magazine last year as what they call an industry disruptor. And I always start here because it really gives us a decent definition as to who we are and what we're attempting to do. And I want to set the stage for you. There's about 39 of you on the line right now and I don't recognize a ton of the names. So a lot of you may be new to this particular to our company, so I want to kind of give you a baseline. BeeSafe Lawns is a dealer network, not a franchise, but of like-minded lawn and landscape companies offering their customers an organic lawn care program. And we were featured in an Entrepreneur a couple years ago or last year as an industry disruptor, and you can kind of Google it and check it out because it sums up what we do fairly well. The lawn care industry is one of those industries that has not been incredibly progressive. A lot of you guys know that. We haven't changed very much. We haven't embraced technology very well. In fact, in the fertilization industry, many lawn care services are still applying, almost the same exact program that you were applying, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Some of the products have changed. Many of the pesticides have changed and hopefully improved, but it's not a lot of progressive companies out there, and we like to think that we are. We're ahead of the curve and doing things differently and being very successful at it. And that's why we were featured by Entrepreneur a couple years ago. We work with some pretty high-profile customers. Harvard University is one. Many of you familiar with the Harvard University Organic Landscaping Project. They treat their entire campus with one of our products, our 702 biologically enhanced fertilizer. Universal Studios is another really good customer. In fact, we're going down there in February to check out what we've done. We've worked with them for 3 or 4 years. The entire theme park down at Universal in Orlando is a BeeSafe theme park. All of the turf and the plants and everything else have been built with or taken care of using the BeeSafe program. Hadlock Field, we always like to mention this one. It's up in Portland, Maine, the AA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. We think that still Hadlock Field is the only professional stadium with turf in the country that's completely organic, and we've worked with them for a few years too. Man, I'll tell you what, that's a challenge. That's a challenging job because that turf has to be perfect, and it's not always under the best circumstances or conditions. So we work hard on that one. Another one in Maine is Scarborough, the city of Scarborough, and I always mention this one because many of you are in locations where there is legislation, whether you like it or not, whether your peers agree with it, or whether or not even your consumers or customers agree with it. There are many, many locations that have gone as far as implementing legislation that controls what is used on turf in and around homes. In Scarborough, it's on municipally maintained turf. We've got a couple of legislative processes going on right now that are banning pesticides on home lawns, which again, that's pushing it pretty far. But lots of places like Scarborough where they've got regulations concerning what can be used, generally where children congregate is the way the language works. The state of New York has a law in effect. Connecticut does as well. New Jersey does. Many, many states, and it's become more of a local issue. And like Scarborough, they've passed a ban on pesticides where children play on municipally maintained turf, and our guy up there has a $100,000 account as a result. So right now we've got 112 BeeSafe locations around the United States. This past year we sat down and identified 225 additional locations that we've targeted in the interest of placing a dealer in the next 18 to 24 months. Let me stop and say, when we say dealer, we're not asking you to sell our products. A dealer, we use the word dealer because we're legally known as a dealer network. That is not a franchise, not a privately owned location, but it's almost like a cooperative, to be honest with you. So I try to take the word dealer out of there, but it's an old habit that I can't seem to get rid of. So that's when you hear me say that, that's what we mean. So we're going through some significant and exponential growth in the last couple of years, and we intend to continue on that with that growth. The BeeSafe brand will be in all 50 states and competing with the national companies like True Green, Scott's, Spring Green, Weedman, Lawn Doctor, and I guess that kind of sums it up, those big national ones. But there are some regionally large companies as well. We've got all of those companies directly in our sites, and we are expecting to compete with them. We already are competing with them. The way we do compete with them, you guys, is that we work with independent, small to mid-sized, locally owned operations like most of you on the line today, who are a little bit forward-thinking, entrepreneur-type companies who with some growth aspirations. We like to work with companies that are forward-thinking and want to kick the competition's ass. And so that's the way we set it up. So we figure with 325 locations nationwide, we'll be among the most recognized names in lawn care. And that is our aspirations, to grow to the point where we can say that we are a national service company. And our agenda goes beyond just that growth. It's also to help do some good for the environment and the health of our families as well. Our demographic is different than what most people think. Our demographic is not just the people who shop at Whole Foods. Our demographic is not just wealthy people who want to spend a ton of money on organic lawn care. But we like to say that BeeSafe applicators are lawn services that offer an organic program, but BeeSafe applicators are not organic lawn care services. And if that doesn't make sense to you, let me explain a little bit. We like to make sure that our applicators are appealing to the masses, not just the niche. We want you to be able to market to everybody in the neighborhood, not just the hippies, right? And the hippies don't even have lawns anyways, so they can go do whatever they want to do. But we think BeeSafe is something that appeals to every home that has a lawn, not only homes that have organic lawns with rich people that eat organic yogurt. We want you to appeal to the masses all the time. So while that niche is growing, it's not enough to support you yet, except for private schools and municipalities. If you're a lawn service or a landscaper that deals specifically with large municipal accounts or with large private schools, even any campus type situation, colleges or hospitals to a certain extent, there's a niche there for you to grow your business significantly. But you need to drive volume. This is about volume. Lawn care services drive volume and have as many customers as they possibly can. So we really significantly believe that you need to reach the masses by launching a professional marketing campaign, and that's what we want to help you do. We spend a lot of time talking about business development, and it's as important to market your business as it is to actually perform the services that your business does, right? Does that make sense? So let's talk about, let's change gears a little bit here and talk about our new consumer lead generation and sales campaign. So for the first couple years that we operated while we were trying to bootstrap this whole thing and get going, and we're very grateful to the early adopters that worked with us those first couple of years, it was very difficult to build the brand on a consumer basis. It's a pretty significant undertaking, costs a lot of money, and we just wanted to get this thing up and running and work with some companies that could use the products and spread the word about the brand. And we were successful in doing that. So at this point, though, where we've got 4 years under our belt and we're doing pretty good and growing, we want to begin to take on that challenge and build that consumer brand. So how is it that you're going to be able to kind of grow your business? So let's talk about that for a minute. As an independent lawn and landscape service business owner, you've definitely said it many times when you're talking about your competition, that you say, they're charging you what? You know, how many times have you been lowballed? So many of the big lawn and landscape companies aren't even lawn and landscape companies. They're marketing companies in disguise and have had, you know, they've got salespeople who are ready, willing, and able to lowball their pricing just to make the sale and beat you up every single time. It's a problem. We know that. How many times do you guys deal with True Green or Scott's or Spring Green or any of those big guys with gigantic sales campaign, low, you know, saying, yeah, they'll beat the price? It happens a lot. There's a couple of solutions to deal with that. So the best way to build your business in that cutthroat pricing culture, it isn't what you think. You know, a lot of times we'll talk to people and they'll say, well, I'm not going to lower my price because my customer service is just so good, it's worth every penny. And I'm not going to lower my price because, you know, True Green can keep those customers. I don't want those. I don't want those. You know, a lot of times people say just being the best at what you do, or offering, you know, significant results in customer service, that's, in my opinion, sort of a cop-out. Okay, so yes, of course, man, you're not in business to do a crappy job. You're obviously going to strive to be the best at what you do. That's sort of a given. So when you use that as an excuse to compete with the competition, that's totally thinking small. If you want to grow your business while competing against the big guys, you have to act like the big guys. And we're not talking about just cutting prices. Today's consumer is all about information and ease of use, and you need to be able to respond to that. You need to be able to get in front of people. It's absolutely imperative. So if you want to be able to compete with the big guys, you have to act like the big guys. So beginning in 2015, we'll be including marketing services in your BeeSafe Lawns dealer package. And we say, you want leads? We'll give you leads. And actually, a couple of the guys on the call today, I've noticed, are existing BeeSafe dealers who have heard me talk about this and wanted to get a little bit more information and see how the whole thing's going to work. So welcome, guys, too. So let's start by checking out the mybeesafelawn.com website. It's a very, very, very basic website. We even call it a microsite. You could call it a landing page almost. It's not a significant website in terms of content and copy, and we don't want it to be. It's that way by design. So really, really simple. Right off the top, it's mybeesafelawn.com. Very simple logo. We've got right in the very front, we've got a lead capture situation here. People or consumers are able to download what we call 9 organic lawn care tips that will change your lawn and life forever. We're trying to give away some content. The goal is to drive consumers to this website. We do have other websites. You've probably seen them before. There's BeeSafeLawns.com, and most of our applicators or dealers or locations have a BeeSafe website as well. So our web presence is significant. But this is different. This is all about lead capture and ease of use, driving people to it as fast as we can and getting them out of there as fast as we can. When you've got a lot of junk up here, it's easy for people to get distracted. And junk is not a bad thing, especially when it comes to SEO, but we want to capture information to get on. So we've got a quick page about us, very basic explanation about what BeeSafe is. and again, I want to emphasize that this website is plain by design. Okay, we're not flashy by design. We've got a blog that we put entries on often. I just did one the other day. Try to do a couple per week. That's important. We're really trying to. This is a big part of the search engine optimization component. So we'll continue to write and post blogs several times per week. I'd love to see it more than that. They're not in-depth blog entries, you guys. You know, is frozen grass a bad thing? Your lawn in winter. So if you click on it, it's just some content, copy-rich content that, you know, maybe not a lot of people will even read. But it's valuable information. It's all designed to drive people to the site and get picked up by search engines. It's just a small part of that search engine optimization approach. And then we've got a locations page where we have all of the applicators posted and their contact information. So the goal, obviously, again, is to get consumers to this website so that they can find out if their area is covered and they can reach out to them. We don't anticipate a ton of actual traffic to go through this particular page. It's interesting that, you know, a consumer can go and look and see if there's somebody covering their area. But we really think that the majority, I'll scroll down so you can see all of the locations. If you're an existing dealer and you're on the call today and you need something updated here, let me know because you know, this is kind of, we launched it last fall, but it's probably not perfect. So we anticipate the majority of contact information will come through the front page of this website. Again, one of the things we just mentioned earlier was that people want information, they want it fast. The days where you sit down with your potential lawn care client at their kitchen table and share a cup of coffee are long gone. You know, that went out with the yellow pages. So people want information and they want it now. So this is the website. That's the BeeSafe, my BeeSafe Lawns website. Microsite, we'll call it. Almost a landing page. Very simple process. What are the lead sources that we're going to begin to promote to drive people to this site? Well, we've got several things set up. We've got an awesome program for AdWords and pay-per-click, which is a major component of any campaign. We've got a great relationship in the contractor to make that work very well. We had initially eliminated direct mail from the original plan, but I've recently met with a company that we're going to talk about that I threw into the mix very, very quickly because I really like their program, and we're going to work with them. Hopefully you're going to work with them as well. We've got a local citation program that we're going to talk about. Most of you are probably saying, what the heck does that mean? Of course, we've got social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are very important parts of the program. Organic search, that's what we were just talking about in terms of search engine optimization, and blogging is a big component, a big part of that. That's something that changes all the time, and we have an SEO program that hopefully we'll see some significant results with in the next couple of months. The goal when we started it last fall or last summer was to be able to begin to show up this spring, and we haven't yet. A lot of you guys probably are familiar with how difficult it is to get that organic ranking right away. Public relations, or PR, is a big part of what we're going to do. We know for a fact that PR is an awesome way to drive traffic to any website, and the goal in any PR campaign is to be the expert in a field, and that's what we're attempting to do. And then newsletters and email marketing too, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Does anybody have any questions? Actually, hang on one second. I am. All right, stand by. Just wanted to get my screen back up here. I had lost it for a second. Forgive my sloppy PowerPoint work here, but for some reason my console for my GoToMeeting thing has disappeared, and I'm assuming you're all still there. Hang on one second. Let me make sure that you are. Got it. Any questions? We'll take a breath. Sorry about that. I always say, hey man, we're lawn guys. We're not tech guys here. So let's talk about these lead sources in a little bit of depth. How am I doing on time? Not too bad. First, our AdWords and our pay-per-click campaign. Everybody knows what pay-per-click advertising is, right? Or or AdWords in general. I'm assuming most of you have done some sort of an operation or some sort of a campaign with AdWords or pay-per-click. All the time, AdWords and pay-per-click gets bigger and bigger and better and better. It used to be that you'd pay for placement with Google. So when you Google lawn care Orlando, Florida, which is what I did here, and I've got the screenshot for it. Those paid ads are on the side and above the local and above the organic search. Organic meaning organic search, not organic lawn care, of course. These ads show up above and to the side of the search button here, right? So you have to pay to get there. Many of us learn hard lessons in doing this when we try to do it ourselves, and you can quickly spend a fortune paying per click, right? You pay per click. Every time somebody clicks on that ad, you pay, depending on the competition or the keyword that's going on, you could pay up to $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 per click. So the way it's going to work with the BeeSafeLawn.com, myBeeSafeLawn.com program, is we've got an awesome program. We've been working on this one for a couple of years. We've really honed it. We've drilled it down to a program that's going to work very, very well, and we've got a really talented person working on it. So with myBeeSafeLawn.com pay-per-click program, you're not going to pay per click. You're going to pay per lead. And that's rare to find that anymore. There's very few, and I'm told, really nobody who really does that and can set it up that way anymore. So if you opt into the AdWords or the pay-per-click campaign we're talking about, it's not a gamble. It's not a crapshoot. It's not like, holy man, I hope I can generate some leads, and it's going to cost me, $5,000 to do it. We've got a situation set up where we've done a lot of keyword research. We're going to geo-target where you want us to geo-target, and you're going to pay per lead. So it's going to be $49 per lead if we deliver it directly to you, $59 per lead with dispatch, and we'll talk about what that means in a couple of minutes. And that's a pretty good price when you start to begin to talk about the cost per lead and the cost per sale with any lead source. If you're kind of wandering around in the dark in regards to pay-per-click lead generation or AdWords lead generation, this is trust me, this is a good deal for you. Direct mail. So this is a relatively new input into the campaign, the myBeeSafeLawn.com campaign. I love direct mail. At Lawn Dog, we used to do a lot of direct mail. When I say a lot, a real lot, because it works. It's a little bit more expensive. It's more expensive than that pay-per-click campaign. It's probably going to be your most expensive lead source. But the great thing about direct mail, guys, is that it's proven to work. We know for a fact that it's going to work. I've got an example up here of some friends of ours down in Pennsylvania, Green Lawn Fertilizing Company. They're really into doing direct mail. And we can really predict with a little bit of accuracy what your response is going to be. Basically, the way it works is you send out a direct mail piece to generate a lead, and when that lead comes in, then you close that lead. And you should expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 1% conversion with direct mail leads, depending on what market you're in. When we did a lot of direct mail in Massachusetts, we'd expect 0.75%. When we did a lot of direct mail in places like Albany, we would expect more than 1%. So the return really depends on your competition, where you are, and some other things. But we've got a pretty good feel for what you can get back. And so we're working with this company called TargetNeighbors.com. And again, we're just I was really impressed with the presentation that they gave us a couple of weeks ago. We haven't completely finalized the program, but I like it. I like it a lot. Check it out. So what they do, or what you're able to do, is get in on the campaign and market to neighbors of your existing customers, right? So and it's really, really turnkey. So what we're going to do is you basically put in an address of, let's see, let's use 11 Melissa Drive, Nashua, New Hampshire, 03062. So say you've got a customer at this address, and you want to send out 250 direct mail pieces around that particular homeowner. So it geo-targets the actual homeowners and addresses in that particular area. Right here is our customer, and we're going to send out direct mail pieces to people in the area. In the past, guys, when you do direct mail, it's not brain surgery, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. You have to determine your demographic. You have to look at your list. You have to figure out who you want to mail to. Then you have to go and design the pieces. You have to have your offer, your call to action, all that kind of stuff. It's not something that you can snap your fingers and get done. It takes a while to do. We've done it all for you. So we'll have pieces designed for you, and it's as simple as logging into this, finding out where you want to send it to. If you want to send 550 pieces, you're going to have to go to a radius of 0.4 of a mile around that particular homeowner. You can get a direct mail piece in those potential customers' mailbox in 5 to 7 days from the time that you process this. And it's literally, the work is done for you. It's literally log in and click, and 5 to 7 days later, you've got mail, BeeSafe advertising mail in those potential customers' mailboxes. It's pretty awesome. Trust me when I tell you. As somebody who's done a lot of direct mail in my life, this is very, very turnkey and very, very easy. It goes all the way down to a minimum of 50 pieces. And where have you ever heard that before, right? It's a minimum of 50 pieces. So there's 50 customers around in 1/10 of a mile around our customer here at 11 Melissa Drive. In the 5 to 7 days, we'll have a marketing piece in those customers' mailboxes, and that is awesome. How awesome is that? And again, I was lucky with the timing of working with this company. So we've designed 3 specific pieces for you to choose from. Depending on the volume, your cost is going to be between 50 and 60 cents per piece. There's only a 50-piece minimum, and you're going to generate sales there. It's pretty awesome. So local citations. Let's move on to that. Does anybody know what local citations, what that program means? I lost my thing again here. So let me see if I can bring it up. Any questions? Okay. I'm hearing that there's a couple of issues with audio. Can everybody hear me okay? This happened the last time I did a webinar like this. There was an issue with audio. Hopefully everybody can hear me. If you can't hear me, well, we're recording it. We'll send it out to you. If you can hear me, that's good, but we've got a couple people saying they can't. So local citations. More and more important. Reputation management and local advertising is really important. I mean, when was the last time somebody picked up the yellow pages? When it used to be you pick up the yellow pages when you want to find who the local provider is for any service, and that's not the case anymore. What do people do when they want to find somebody local, a local service? They Google it. So they Google this picture here that I just stole, says San Francisco dentist. So as you can see, as we talked about before, we've got the paid ads here, and then local ads here. These are the local ads. How do you show up there? It's not totally simple. It's something that you've got to take some action on, and we can help you do that. We figured that baby out. Oh, I want to show you something. So the way it works is that you really need to have your company listed on as many local outlets as possible. And let me show you the list. The list is insane. If you want to make sure that you're going to show up in that local listing, yes, first of all, you need to register with Google. You need to register your business with Google, and hopefully that will get you to show up, but that's not always the case. Local citations are your business submitted to every single local directory that exists, and there are more than 300, and I'm showing them to you right here. You could manually do it. You could Google local citations, and you can manually go to every single one of these and submit your business to it. It might take you a year, right? It might take a long time. So we've developed and worked with a program that allows us to submit your business to every single one of these, and it takes a couple of months for it to be completely specific and to complete. It's not something that you need to do every single year, but they're data aggregators, basically, that once you submit that information to, they're then disseminated to all of these particular local search engines. Everybody's in competition with Google, but what Google does is it takes that information from this competition and kind of prioritizes who the most relevant search recipient should be. And if you're showing up on every single one of these local search engines, then that obviously shows that you're relevant. And so, again, man, I think there's more than 300 here. The point is that you've got to get on there. You've certainly got to get you got to get on there. Stand by with the foolishness here again. I apologize, guys. It just keeps disappearing on me, and I don't know if it's an issue with GoToMeeting here or not. But I just got to make sure that I haven't lost you. And I see a couple questions popping up too. So why don't we wait to the end to answer those questions, Dan? Good question, but let's wait to the end. Local citations. We're back at it. All right. We're going to have lots of stuff pointing to mybeesafelawn.com. Social media, of course. We have to have social media, and just because I'm going a little bit longer than I wanted to, I'm not going to click on all of our pages here, but there's a social media campaign, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. More and more every day. I mean, the younger generation, millennials, are homeowners now, right? These are people who've lived their life online. Most of us are old lawn guys, although I bet you there's some young lawn guys on today too. But most of us didn't grow up in a world where this was the only way to get information, but it's the way it is now. So the mybeesafelawn.com social media campaign is in full effect. So anytime we post a blog on the website, or anytime we take pictures, or there's an entire strategy involved with driving traffic to a website based on social media, and we've got a great contractor on board to make that happen. We're pretty excited. Oh, I clicked on the link. It's going to bring me out to it. Let's go back to here. PR. Everybody knows what PR is, right? In fact, that's one of the best ways to get your message out, public relations. So we'll be disseminating professionally, not just writing and sending to like the local town crier, but we'll have a professional press release situation where we'll be disseminating 4 monthly pieces beginning next month with all the contact information going back to mybeesafelawn.com. And we know how we rock and roll in the springtime. Every newspaper, every magazine, every online blog, every single outlet like that is looking for content. They're looking for content, and every year, more and more every year, organic lawn care gets more and more publicity. In fact, we've gotten some publicity here accidentally through PR, and that's a good thing. You see articles written about pesticides and kids and lawn care and dandelions and how to make your grass look nice and what to do about crabgrass. It's top of mind for every homeowner in the United States of America from February through Memorial Day, depending on where you are, right? Totally a big deal. We're going to have 4 professionally done pieces sent out beginning next month all the way through the springtime to drive traffic back to mybeesafelawn.com. Any questions? Hopefully this is making sense to you. This is the first time I've done this particular program where we're talking about this particular consumer campaign, and hopefully it's making sense, and hopefully you're beginning to see some value in it. So let's talk about taking it to the next step. If you want to opt into the Done For You program, if you want to take advantage of not only these lead sources, but getting some information out to those leads seamlessly. So the way it works with any lead generation campaign is that you've got your lead source to start with, and that's what we just talked about. And we really went fast. There's much more to it than the half an hour we just spent talking about it. Your lead source drives leads to a particular site. Those leads, once they land on that site, fill out a contact form. In fact, that's why we talked about at the beginning, the mybeesafelawn.com microsite is essentially just lead capture. It's a contact form where we want somebody to submit their information with ease and quickly and not get lost reading about the impact of calcitic limestone on dandelions. We don't want that to happen. They can go other places for that. If you want to opt into the program we've put together to make this work more seamlessly for you, this is what will happen. From that lead source to that contact form gets sent to the BeeSafe Sales Center, which is right here in the other room there. We've got a call center with people waiting for this campaign to kick off. As soon as that lead source, literally in like real time, as soon as somebody submits something through that contact form, we receive it here immediately. If you don't want to opt into this done-for-you campaign, that's when we then forward that lead to you as a BeeSafe applicator. We will send that lead to you via email. Okay, you'll get that lead. That's the whole point of joining the network. We're trying to generate leads and business for you. We're going to send that lead to you immediately. If you want to take advantage of the done-for-you campaign, we're going to take care of that lead. And we talked about earlier briefly about how important information and speed and ease of use is. So when somebody sends an estimate through that contact form, it hits the sales center. We're going to do that lead for you, and I'll show you how that works in a moment. Once we do that lead, that potential customer is going to go into a lead nurture situation. Many of you guys have heard about or probably implement on your own as well. Companies like HubSpot is a big one, or even your MailChimp account allows you to do lead nurturing. We use, I'm going to show you actually, if I can get out of here real quick. Lead nurturing is really important. Infusionsoft is the CRM that we use to make it work. When somebody gets sent that estimate, they're going to get sent into a lead nurture campaign where they are sent follow-up emails. They're essentially sales emails with some content and educational copy mixed in. And over the course of the next couple of weeks after they get that estimate, they'll get emails reminding them that they got the estimate and why they should hire the BeeSafe applicator to take care of their lawn. Gone are the days, guys, when we grew Lawn Dog, it was just pounding the phone every day, all the time. Telemarketing, lead generation, and having salespeople just pound the phone. You have to be a little bit more subtle about the way you do things now, and the way it works is that drip marketing and lead nurturing is the way to make sales, and you have to be, like I said, subtle about it. You don't want to be pounded down the door. So what's going to happen, again, is you're going to lead source, contact form, BeeSafe Sales Center, lead dispatch, 4-touch lead nurture. The cost is going to be $10 per lead. We act as your marketing agency, right? So we take care of running leads for you. And I know you're all saying, well, how the heck are you going to do that? Well, this is, I'll show you. You guys know where I'm going with this. So as soon as somebody fires off an estimate, we'll use your My Lawn Quote account, or we can use our My Lawn Quote account if you want, and we just very quickly create an estimate. I don't know if you noticed, but on here, what color is your house? We've got name, email, phone, street address, city, state, and zip. What color is your house? That's important. We're also going to add to this, I thought it was going to be up today, but ways for us to determine the source of the lead and the coupon code for other particular means of marketing. We go in here. We have our spring sales template. We go in. We probably want to do BeeSafe. Tom at BeeSafe. Your lawn care estimate. 11 Melissa Drive was the we measure it, we search for it up here. I should have done this first. I'm trying to, haste makes waste. I'm always telling the kids, haste makes waste. Haste makes waste. You get a satellite image of the house, drives it right down into there. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain. So this is not a perfect example, but it's a good example too. So everybody always says, how are you going to measure my lawn with trees? Well, the cool thing is that sometimes we can move the imagery around and see, you know, you can spin it around. You can even bring this guy down and get a street view. But when you're in a neighborhood like this and every single house has the same exact lot, it's pretty simple, right? So we just basically, I'm going quick here, we measure the lawn, right? So we know that that it's going to be 5,000 square feet, less than that, right? So haste makes waste. 4703, using current quote, bang, there we go. We're going to search, give an estimate for our optimized program, our basic program, our premium program, and then within minutes of that person filling out that, contact form, they've got an estimate with this really awesome messaging right in their email box within minutes. You want to talk about speed and ease of use, you guys, right? Speed and ease of use. We're getting an estimate in a customer's hands within seconds of them submitting the form. Trust me when I tell you, this is how you make sales, you guys. This is how you make it happen. This is how you do it. I know some of you are a little bit afraid of the measuring online, but we've got a couple years of experience under our belt right now. When you've got guys out measuring lawns in the truck and you think they're jumping out, looking in backyards, and they've got that measuring wheel and they're going to measure every single lawn perfectly, well, it's not exactly the case. In fact, they're just going to drive by and say, yeah, that looks like it's about 7,000 square feet, where in that case it was 5,000 square feet. It works better. It works better. And we've got a couple years of experience under our belt that says that. If in the event that we're not sure, you know, if it's a 5-acre property and we don't know if it's the right house, if it's right next to one that might be, you know, 10,000 square feet, we'll double check. You have to. It's not perfect, but ease of use and speed of information, absolutely imperative to make more sales, and we can do that for you if you want us to. Transition here. Any questions? Now I'm going long. So what do you get when you become a BeeSafe applicator? This is, after all, a recruitment webinar for the BeeSafe Organic Lawn Care Dealer Network. You get access to our proprietary products. We build an organic lawn care program for you, built using our proprietary products. Every location is a little bit different. We talked about Harvard University in Massachusetts. We talked about Scarborough, Maine. We talked about Orlando, Florida. They use different products. There's different programs because they're different turf types, different soil types, different climates. So you get access to our proprietary products. We'll build a program for you. You may want to protect the territory. Marketing materials. You've got access to our brochures and estimates, door hangers, direct mail pieces, as much as you want. The branding is huge. That's what this is all about, building on the brand. And you've got full access to brand as you want. Training is included. Here's the branding. We've seen people do truck wraps, billboards, postcards, brochures, websites. Here's a truck on Hadlock Field with our Bee right on there. Pretty sweet. The products. We didn't talk about the products because I could talk about the products for 2 hours, and I don't want to. But we can talk about them if you want more information after the fact. They're all liquid. They're all based on soil biology, biostimulation, organic NP and K, organically acceptable control products, and most importantly, information and education. If you want to protect a territory, and not everybody does. In fact, a small portion of BeeSafe applicators protect the geographic territory, and we don't want every BeeSafe applicator to protect a specific territory either. You can protect up to 150,000 SFDUs where you are the only BeeSafe applicator in that location. What do you get? I mean, what do you pay to get that? If you want to control a geographic area, the cost is $14,900. Now you guys will be you're all saying like, well, now we know why everybody don't protect a territory, because it's a major investment. Those who do are glad that they did, because it gives them that unique edge among other competition. They are the go-to company for the BeeSafe program in that area. Package 2, which is what most applicators opt into and prefer to do, and sometimes we prefer that they do it that way, is $4,900. Okay, so it's much less cheap, much less expensive. We call it BeeSafe Lite. So you get the program, the products, the territory if you want, marketing materials, branding. We have training. We have a training coming up here the first week of February that you can come to in Manchester, New Hampshire if you want to. It's not a requirement, but we're happy to have you here, and we all learn a real lot. Now, in regards to the myBeSafeLawn.com dealer marketing package, right now we've got something going on that we want to make it a little bit more worth your while to get on board. If you join the network now, this off season, you'll have to talk to Dick about what the deadline is. I don't know specifically what it is. We'll do that local citations package for you. That cost is $500. It's typically $500 to run that software and manually submit the information to the ones that we need to. That's $500. We'll do 1,000 direct mail postcards. That's roughly $500 bucks. Now, 1,000 direct mail postcards is not a lot. If you're going to do a direct mail campaign, you should do more than that, but this is a good start. We'll include that. And then the MLQ.com program, you get that too. That's a 500 plus value. So to join the network, if you haven't yet and you wanted to and you've put it off this far and you maybe wished you didn't want to, man, you should be glad you did push it off, because this is our best deal ever to get involved, because it's literally putting together a program that's going to get you customers right off the bat. Okay, it's a great idea. It's probably a good thing that you waited. If you're interested in finding out more information, we'll give you access to our due diligence website. Some of you have already been on there before. The due diligence website is just that. It's a password-protected site that allows you to do your due diligence about our business and whether or not it makes sense for you to join it. Then we'll send you a proposal, especially if you want to protect the territory. The process is a little bit more complex. So that's leaves us with me having gone for almost 50 minutes, and that was more than I wanted to do. Let me answer some questions. Any questions, you guys? Let me scroll up through them and see. Man, there's 39 of you and nobody has any questions? Come on now, boys. Good question. So all the products are liquid, right? So the question revolves around what kind of equipment do you need to apply the products. All of the BeeSafe products are liquid products, and the vast majority of them are biologically enhanced, which means that they've got soil-improving microorganisms as part of the product. Usually people ask, well, how's that possible? Because you think of compost tea. And compost tea is, it's a living sort of matter. This is essentially laboratory-created compost tea where the microorganisms are in a vegetative state. When they're exposed to oxygen and air and soil, and they're out in the environment, that's when they come out of that vegetative state. And the idea is to introduce those soil microorganisms to the environment, but also to help amplify the indigenous soil-improving microorganisms. And we do that best through liquid products. You will need a skid sprayer. Somebody also just asked if the ride-on sprayers will work. That's yes, with an asterisk. Those old permagreens won't work. You need at least a gallon and a half of finished product to get it per 1,000 square feet to work. You can get that through a skid sprayer. Some of the newer ones, some of the newer ride-on Permagreen has one. The Z-Spray unit works really, really well. You can get that 1.5 gallons per 1,000 square feet. So most ride-on sprayers will work. That's a good question. The question is about insect control. And so let's cover all control products. Let me answer. There's a couple questions about weed control, question about grub control. Let's cover all of those things with one response. The goal here, you guys, is for us to be able to implement a lawn care program, again, to the masses, not just to the niche, that looks and feels a lot like what people are used to. So we have to have tools to take care of all of those problems. And when you convert to an organic lawn care program, all of those problems don't just disappear. It's not magic. We need to be able to treat those issues. So in the case of insect control or grub control, as asked here by Troy, we have a product called Grandivo. BeeSafe manufactures soil inoculants, fertilizers, biostimulants, things that really deal with fertility and soil improvement. We don't manufacture pesticides. However, we do distribute pesticides. And when I say pesticide, even an organic control product is still considered a pesticide. Grandivo is a certified organic insect control. And Google it because it's a great, great product. It really is. Grandivo, G-R-A-N-D-E-V-O. It's got a wide spectrum of insects on there designed to control, including grubs. That's what the question was about. Weed control, same exact thing. There are a couple of weed controls out there. Post-emergent weed control is a product called Fiesta, which probably you guys are pretty familiar with. The chelated iron product. There's a couple other post-emergent controls out there. We have a pre-emergent, which is a liquid corn gluten, not a granular corn gluten. Granular corn gluten is not our favorite or most recommended weed preventative. A liquid gluten, you'll get almost the same exact results as a chemical pre-emergent. Lots of our applicators began to use a product called Tenacity last year, and Tenacity is an EPA-registered low-risk herbicide. It is not an organic herbicide, but an EPA-registered low-risk herbicide. It's not 25B or exempt, so it's a pesticide. And we're a little bit we're not dishonest with the products that we use, but the standards in terms of what you can use for weed controls, you need to make the right choice. The last thing you're going to want to do is use a 2,4-D product in an organic program. However, if your customer wants you to, you will. You never want to lose a customer based on your own need for advocacy. You're always going to want to do what the customer wants. And you'll find that when you bring on organic lawn care customers, many times they trust your judgment to use the best product for the job. The question is about if you have a lawn that's 100% weeds, and that happens, right? You bring on new customers and there's tons of weeds on there. It can be too expensive or pricey to use something like Fiesta to clean them all up. Many times an applicator will say to that potential customer they'd like to do a blanket app of a chemical herbicide just to get started. And people get that, and that's okay. We're not so hardcore that we know that you're never going to touch an herbicide ever again. Yeah, and that does include Roundup, although we don't like Roundup. Roundup's a bad one. If you have to use it, go ahead. There's a product that we have called Final Sand, which is a non-selective herbicide. Probably works better than Roundup, and it's not like vinegar or some of those scythe or whatever that just burn the plant. It really does the job. It kills the plant. So a non-selective would be called Final Sand, F-I-N-A-L-S-A-N. Graham asks if our company and products are available in Canada. It's funny, Graham, because we went up to that trade show a couple years ago in Toronto. What the heck's the name of it? Because we really thought that BeeSafe would be huge in Canada. We thought it was a great place to be because Canada, most parts of Canada have legislation banning the use of pesticides. We went up there and found that everybody was mostly pissed off about that. Nobody was really embracing organics. They were just kind of pissed off that they were being told what to do. So we didn't go through the process. We kind of were wrong in the way we'd be received. We didn't go through the process of registering everything and doing business for the ability to do business in Canada. So as it stands right now, Graham, the answer is no. But we know how to do it. We just haven't really had a huge demand for it. If you think it's something that you'd like to consider, or you even have ideas beyond that to perhaps help us recruit other companies in Canada, we're certainly open to discussing that with you, because I still feel that it's a great place to be because of the legislative environment. We just got our butts kicked a little bit, to be honest with you. Not butts kicked. I mean, trust me, everybody up there was very, very nice and very receptive and respectful of what we were doing. But I don't blame you for most of those people for being a little bit ticked off about not being able to use products. You know, I don't think that that's always a good thing. It's a benefit to our business, but I can understand the concern. Any other questions, you guys? Do you get any actual product for the $5,000? No, the answer is no. Our business model revolves squarely around you purchasing product from us. If we give the product away, we're a charity. You know, and that sounds probably a little bit crass, but the $4,900 is a dealer fee to be able to license the branding, and in this case, you get all those marketing sources, and there's a lot of work that goes into that, you know, setting up all of those accounts and all of those, designing the pieces. So the BeeSafe is a dealer network with a small initial licensing fee. That's what that $4,900 is for. You would then purchase the product from us to be able to implement the program. Although, I don't know, Dick's been apt to wheel and deal a little bit. I don't know if he'll wheel and deal with product, but you never know. Dick is the director of dealer development, and if you want to continue the process of looking into this, you would talk to Dick about how to make it happen. I wish I could give you product, but we can't. That's part of the deal. Any other questions? So I've been flapping my gums for an hour now. Oh, actually, Jake, good question. I'm glad you asked that. I'm surprised nobody had asked that yet. Pricing. How much does this stuff cost? I think you probably saw in our MLQ account there, we typically recommend that you set up 3 programs. One of the cool things about BeeSafe is that it's not a franchise, so we don't tell you what to do. You do what you think is best, and we guide you. We help you make the right decisions based on what your demographic might be. Typically, it makes sense to offer 3 programs. There's a premium program, a basic program, and what we call an optimized organics program. And the inputs associated with each one of those programs are kind of, the cost fluctuates based on that. That premium program is for for those people that we told you not to target at the beginning. You still want to target them in addition to everybody else, but those very wealthy, high-end, super-duper premium organic customers. I mean, we put together a program that is probably the best lawn care program, organic or chemical, that you'll ever find. The inputs to do that are, close to $5 per 1,000 square feet. But you're going to charge a lot to get that. You're not going to make a lot of those sales, but those are going to be your most profitable customers. Down to optimized organics, where there are products that are much more inexpensive. Some of the fertilizers have a little bit of urea in them, which is in most cases not certifiably organic. That's why we call it optimized organics. Most of the inputs are organic, but and this is a technical thing that we certainly don't want to get into, but when you apply biology alongside nitrogen sources, that nitrogen source does not leach and works much more effectively. And in my opinion, urea at a much reduced rate is perfectly fine. The cost to implement a program like that is very comparable to your chemical program, where it's going to be in the neighborhood of $2 per 1,000 square feet. So it's going to be just a tick more expensive. And man, we try every year like crazy to drive those prices down. The day we can be completely competitive with chemical is the day we totally conquer. And we haven't quite hit that scale yet, but we're getting closer all the time, all the time. So generally speaking, in and around $2 per 1,000 square feet. Your chemical program's probably going to be $1.70 or something. So you're a little bit more than that. Good question, though. I'm surprised that nobody had asked that. A couple more questions. So, Jimmy, yeah, kind of. So let me read what Jimmy typed. So he writes, so you show us the way with marketing, and we implement the system. Yeah, kind of. We act as you know, kind of consultants in a way. You know, we help you. We kind of tell you what we think is going to work best. I don't know what kind of company that you have, Jimmy, but you know, you've got your own systems. You've got your own marketing procedures, and it's not difficult to just kind of integrate this into that already. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I might tell you what I think was going to work best, and you put your own spin on it. And our business model is about you using our products and our brand to create nice lawns without using a lot of chemicals. So yeah, good point. So I've been going for an hour, and everybody is still on the line, which is a good sign. It means that either we did okay or you guys got nothing else going on. It is January. So listen, we'll get you some access to the due diligence site. You're going to need login credentials to get on there. We'll send them to you now. I'll have a couple guys in the other office send that out to you right now. Log in, ask as many, do as much research as you possibly can to develop as many questions that you might have for us. We'd love to see you join the network. We're trying to, we're getting towards the end of our recruitment period because we know you guys got to go to work. We'd love to bring on another 20 or so applicators by the time April rolls around, and hopefully it'll be you guys, one of you guys. So give me a call if you have any questions. We'll get that information out to you, and I appreciate you spending some time with me today, guys. We'll talk to you again soon. Have a good day.